Hello everybody, it is Pudding here, and today I have a game that I recorded while I was in Chicago against my good friend Marcus, otherwise known as Metaphos. He's going to be on Chaos Dragon, I'm going to be on Ninja Dino Rabbit. This is based off Oiram's list with some changes, and Marcus is going to win the die roll and he's just going to pass. I'm going to summon a Hanzo at this point. Try and get a transformation. That's going to be met with a Veiler. And because of that, I'm just going to set and pass. I can't deal with the Trag right now. Can't deal with the Gores. So I'm just going to give the turn back to him. He's going to pass again. I have another Hanzo, so we're going to summon that other copy of Hanzo here and grab another Super Transformation. Then we're going to swing. That's going to be 18 and 18. And the Super Transformation insulates me. If he's got a Gores or Tragodia, I can just send that afterwards and summon a dino from my deck. So I'm going to set one more and pass. Marcus is going to go ahead and solo recharge. Sorry again that you can't really see the full Chaos Dragon graveyard here. He does mill an Eclipse Wyvern here, and I think he banishes a red med. But yeah, sorry you can't see it all. This was the first game we recorded, and I don't think we had the camera angles right. He does have another game recorded, which was Insectors against Agents, and I think the camera angles on that one are better. So that one might be out soon if he gets around to editing that. But yeah, apologies in advance. He's going to Dark Hole here. There go both Hanzos. Obviously can't Super Transformation or do anything with that. And he's just going to set a Raikou and pass. Or what is probably a Raikou. I'm going to set one monster and another back row and pass it back to him. He is going to go ahead and flip Raikou. And he's going to target my set monster. I'm going to Veiler that. I don't want him to get mills here. I don't want him to set up his graveyard more. I don't think he has a dark at this point, which is pretty big. He's going to then Space Typhoon one of my back row. He probably knows which one the ninjutsu art is, so he's just spacing around that. And he hits the Solemn Judgment. Then he's going to tribute the Raikou here for a Dark Flare. And here he sadly did hit the worst of the two, so I'm going to be able to bottomless the Dark Flare. I don't believe he has a Dark Engrave. He's going to then pass back to me. I'm going to summon a third Hanzo, add another transformation, and I'm going to flip my copy of Cabazol's. We're going to go ahead and swing here for 17, and then we are going to swing for 18. So that puts him down to 900. He's going to drop Gores, but here's one of the amazing things. Regular Dino Rabbit really struggles against like a Gores or a Tragodia. I can just Super Transformation away the Gores, and at this point I can go ahead and grab a Sabersaurus and punch over that 1800 token. So I'm not giving him anything to tribute. And now I know he has only one dark in his grave, but in case he's got like a Dark Flare or something, I don't want to give him the chance to summon the Dark Flare first and then summon a Light Pulsar, and I pretty much die. So I'm actually just going to elect to summon a Roach. So a lot of Dino Rabbits have kind of a Lagia brain where they just make Lagia at all options. Sometimes a Roach is just better against Chaos Dragons because it's going to give me two negates. Instead of the one that a Lagia provides. And any of the Chaos monsters get over Lagia. So he's going to set one monster, set a back row, and pass. I'm going to summon Tour Guide. And use the effect. We're just going to grab a Sangan in case that is a treacherous trap hole in the back. And this should be threatening lethal even over a Sangan. Or, sorry, even over a Raikou. So we are going to attack. It is a Sangan. He's going to go ahead and search his deck for a card, which is going to be Trooper. Try and get a Dark Engrave. And then we are just going to try and swing with Sangan. And that is lethal. And he actually did let me know he had both a Dark Flare and a Light Pulsar in his hand. So he could have baited one out if I made Lagia and then summoned the other, because he would have had a Dark Engrave. But this time he's going to start. He's going to open Recharge. He's going to go discard Lila, mill Tragodia, and Veiler. He now has a light and dark right off the bat. So this is pretty scary already, because a big and established Chaos Monster can be difficult for Dino Rabbit to deal with. He's just going to set a card and pass it back, though. I'm going to summon Tour Guide and use the effect. And this build only actually plays the one Sangan, so it does not play the Night Assailant or the Tour Bus to be able to use Tour Guide twice. So I'm going to grab the Sangan, but that means any Tour Guides late game will effectively be dead. I'm going to attack over his monster. It is a Sangan. He's going to go ahead and search. I was hoping it would be a Raikou, but Sangan means he gets to add Raikou to his hand now, and that signals he's got a Solar Recharge. I'm just going to go ahead and preemptively maxi here. And he's going to go ahead and Solar Recharge. Mill 2. And so he doesn't give me any draws off maxi, he's just going to summon a Wyvern. I think I did the math here wrong. Yeah, this should be, I should be taking 600 damage here, not 400. So actually it's 74. But he's just going to set one and pass. I'm going to space his back row, thinking it is a space and potentially wanting to establish my own set. It's actually a compulse, so he's going to compulse my Sangan. I'm then going to summon my Hanzo. That is going to be met with a Quick Veiler, which is very unfortunate. If you saw in my hand earlier, there was a Mirror Force. And here I believe he actually goes to banish Dark Armed. Again, you can't see it, it's off the board. But he is very high in darks already, so that Dark Armed is nearly live, and I kind of want to save the Mirror Force in case I can get to something like a Dolka to protect it, because I know that Dark Armed is inevitable here. So I'm just going to pass without setting the Mirror Force. He's going to go ahead and summon Dark Flare, banishing the Sangan and banishing the Eclipse. And then he's going to add back his Dark Armed. Then he's going to summon a Tour Guide. He's going to go ahead and special a Tour Guide off the Tour Guide. He's then going to overlay his Tour Guides for a copy of Leviair. He's going to detach, special Sangan, then Dark Armed will be coming down. And it looks like we're kind of cooked here. Lots of lights, lots of darks, and he's just going to go ahead and fan his grave, think for a bit, and then pop. Or no, he's going to banish 2, so there's another Chaos Monster coming down, and it's BLS. And yeah, ouch, that's just me being instantly dead. So no hope for survival there. But game 3, I'm going to be able to start. I'm going to lead off with just a normal summon of Sabersaurus, and setting of 1 back row and passing it back to him. So I see a Dark Hole in his hand. He's going to lead with Charge, though. I see a Dark Flare being hit. Again, sorry about the fact that you cannot see the full Chaos Dragon Graveyard. I know that is like a very important game element, but this was just a quick fun game that we recorded, and we didn't notice until afterwards, and I thought it would still be nice to get a video up for you guys. He's then going to Space Typhoon my back row. That is a Solemn Warning, which is going to get gone. He's then going to summon a copy of Chaos Orc and banish my Sabersaurus. He's going to set a back row and a monster and pass it back to me. I'm going to go ahead and Soul Take for the Chaos Orc. Trying to get that out of there instantly. He's going to gain 1,000 life off of this, which is nice for him. Or actually, no, he's going to Chain Compulse, and he's going to save his Chaos Orc. I'm going to summon a Guaiba after, because even if this is a Raikou, I do get him Resolve and Special Summon my Dinosaur. He's going to mill Gores, Raikou, and an Allure of Darkness. And this Guaiba can attack, and I don't think I would attack, because I get smoked by Gores here. So I'm just going to set 2 back row and pass. He's going to go ahead and Mystical Space Typhoon. he hits an MST. And then he's going to resummon the Sork. And this is a big miss. The other back row was bottomless. So that was a very kind of important part. He's going to then Dark Hole my Guaiba. We're both on very low cards. I'm just going to set one. Got one in hand, one set, and I think he's also on like 2 cards. So he's fanning his grave, deciding what to do. He's going to summon Tour Guide. I'm going to use the last card in my hand, which is Maxi. Draw a card. And he's going to bring out a Sangan. He's going to swing in. And it is a Kabuzol. So he's going to take 500 from that attack. And now I guess he's deciding on whether to give me a free card by overlaying for something. Or just passing the turn. So he's going to look in his extra deck, think for a bit, decide what the optimal play is, and he's going to end with just passing it back to me. I am going to draw another vanilla, so now I can overlay my 2 Kabuzols. And here I'm actually just going to go for a Dolka to turn off the Sangan. I think the last card in my hand is usable, which is why I'm doing this instead of Roach. And then I'm just going to set the back row and pass it to him. I also know that he probably does not have another Chaos Monster, or he would have summoned it in the previous turn. He's going to set one and change the Tour Guide to defense. I'm going to swing with Dolka and set another back row. He's going to MST one of my back row. It's going to be a Mirror Force. And then he's going to banish a light and a dark for a copy of Dark Flare Dragon here. He's going to try to swing, and in the damage step, I'm going to Forbidden Lance that. He's got 1 card left in hand. He's going to pass. I'm just going to swing with Dolka for 23, putting him at 32, and set a back row. He's going to go ahead and summon Lila. And I'm going to think about this. I don't know if he had a light, but whatever it is, I'm actually going to let the Lila resolve here. I was just kind of worried. I think he didn't have a light at that point, so the negate there would have given him a light. I don't think would have been worth it. But yeah, he's going to set 1 back row, pass it back to me after I swing over the Lila. And he's going to take another 23. He's at 900, 1 back row. He's going to draw for turn. And he's going to set a monster. So 1 in hand, 1 back row monster. I'm going to summon Sabersaurus here. And we're going to go ahead and swing with the Sabersaurus. It's going to be a card trooper. He's going to draw 1. I'm going to let that happen just in case there's anything else, but that is going to be the end of the game. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and sorry again about the graveyard. Cheers, guys.